Okay, so what I just said is that Coase theorem, okay, Coase theorem has two premises. Number one is property right is clearly defined. Number two is participants can costlessly bargain. And I said that then all participants can achieve the Pareto efficient level. So for us, the participants are polluter and its victim. So we have our farm A and farm B. Okay, and then we said that the identity of the owner, so to whom this river goes, doesn't really matter. Okay, so that means, so that gives us two problems. One problem is we are going to assume that the ownership goes to A, and then we are going to find the optimal, and we'll see, we'll derive these FOCs, okay? And then again we'll start saying that this ownership of river goes to B, and then again we'll derive the optimal, and we'll see that the FOCs are same. Not only that, we will also see that they will be same with the FOCs that we've derived in case of merger and in case of Pigouvian taxation, where we said that T must be equal to, the T must be equal to del CB del S. Right? That's what we said at the end of Pigouvian taxation. So we'll show that all of them, these two problems also lead to the same result. Okay, so let's start with the ownership, first kind of ownership right, where the river goes to B. So if the river goes to B, then to pollute it, see, to produce XA1, A will have to pollute the river. Now, in our first structure, the ownership goes to B. So that means that, so ownership right 1. So B owns the river, and by that we means that clean water. So what is A's problem now? A needs to pollute the water to produce, right? So A requires the permission to pollute in order to produce. And obviously, if they don't meet, then there will be no bargaining at all. So B wishes to sell the rights to A, but obviously at a certain price. Right? So B is not going to give it for free, because if that is the case, then again, if that is the case, if B just says that okay, you do that, then we are again, will be entering into the perfect competition solution. Okay, so that is the setup here. You own the clean water, and there is some guy who wants to pollute it, and you are ready to sell some of your rights to clean water to that guy, so that A can pollute the river. Okay, so let's see how this works. So now we'll introduce a notation R, okay, where R is the price to be paid for each unit of wastes dumped. Okay, so that means under individual optimization, the problem that is solved at the very first, so under individual optimization R equals 0, but now it is not. All right, so let's construct the problem. Okay. So now the profit maximization problems of A, so the pi max problem of A is, what is it? This is obviously maximize XA1, comma S, all of that is there, right? P1, XA1, and then obviously there will be its cost. So CA, XA1, S. But now there is minus R into S. Okay, so minus R into S. Now this component comes in. Why it comes in? This component comes in because now to create or to dump waste of amount S, for each unit there is a price which is R. So RS is the cost of dumping. So that goes to A. And what about B? So for B, the problem is almost the same, apart from the fact that now B has S, right? Look at this. B now has S as a choice variable, unlike the first problem that we have solved where XB2 was the only one. So XB2 comma S, where P2 XB2 plus RS, because this amount of money paid by A will directly go to B, minus obviously CB, so and so. So just to mention, so RS is the revenue for B. So it is because it is revenue, we have added it. So what just changed? Two things changed. Number one is that R is the price charged by B to A. So RS is a new cost for A and RS is a new revenue for B. And what change is really important? This, that S is now a choice variable for B. Okay, so let's look at the FOCs. And again, just like the first one, we'll write the FOCs of A and B side by side. So on the left side, we are going to write the FOCs for A, and on the right side, we are going to write the FOCs for B. And in writing that way, we will get the result. Okay, so FOCs for A. So there will be two, right? So first of all is MC P equal to MC. So that will be P1 del CA XA1 S del XA1. So that is the first one. And the second one is, now there is R. So R equals minus del CA XA1 S del S. Now this is non-positive. Multiplying with a minus makes it positive. So that means R is positive. So our, problems related to sign has been restored. So what about B now? So FOCs for B. Okay. So again, there will be two. First one is the P equal to MC. So that will be del CB XB2 comma S del XB2. And then R equals del CB XB2 is del S, right? Okay, here. All right, now check this too. Both of them equals R. So in a sense, we have, what we have? We have what we found earlier also, the equilibrium condition, as you said, another expression for the equilibrium amount of waste. So this is the old condition showing, what does it show? Showing equilibrium amount of waste. Okay, so we have reached the same solution. So that's good, right? Okay, now how to interpret this equality? Because now we have not derived this. We have derived that the price that will be paid and will be charged, since they will be equal, that equality generates this equality. So in terms of the application of Coase theorem, or in terms of bargaining, what does this adjustment means, right? So let's take a look at that. So what does this adjustment means to us? So the result that we have obtained is this, and now your the discussion regarding the MC, we said that the equilibrium that is obtained through marginal cost, marginal benefit diagram, it's a version of demand supply diagram, right? It is similar to a demand supply diagram, and this result will make that point more clear. So what is the result? The result is this: if the price of pollution is adjusted, if the price of pollution is adjusted until, and here it starts, so the until the demand for wastes, the demand for wastes equals the supply. Okay, so here we have our demand supply. So until the demand for wastes equals the supply, we will have an efficient level of wastes. Okay, so now we realize that the problem that we are trying to solve can be solved in two ways. Way number one is to reduce the commodities production so that the related waste becomes efficient. And to that extent, we look at the price equalizing the social marginal cost. So that is one way. The other approach is this, where we are saying that we are looking at the marginal cost and marginal benefit of waste generation, and we are saying that at the point where these two are same, okay, we have the efficient level of waste. So we can solve the problem either in terms of production level and carteling production, or at the level of waste produced and carteling waste. Okay, you can take either of this approach. You will be taking either of this approach depending on the problem that has been given to you. Okay. Okay. So number two, and there also will do the same thing, and but with a different ownership right. So ownership right 2. Now here A will be owning the river, and because of that, there will be, as they say, there will be hell to pay at B's end. So because it will be a problem for B, B will try to buy out A's right. Okay, so ownership right 2. So A has the right to dump waste, and B is willing to pay A to reduce this dumping. Right? So that's why I'm saying that B will be trying to buy out. Now, suppose otherwise this payment of B, A dumps up to SM. Okay. All right. So obviously you can intuitively think that this SM basically relates to the amount of waste that will be dumped if we are considering the equilibrium under perfect competition, right? So here we write like this: suppose otherwise this payment of B, okay, so when B is not paying, A will be dumping as much as it wants, and that will relate to the individual optimization equilibrium. And let's say that point is Sm. So what does B want? Obviously, B wants to reduce the amount of S. So B wants to pay A. So that much we have seen. To make a reduction of amount Sm minus S. So this difference, it is the amount of reduction, right? This gap. But also, technically speaking, Sm minus S will be dumped by A if bargain is successful, right? So, sorry. So that means that so S will be S will be dumped by A if bargain is successful. Now, why we are saying we are making this kind of a structure? Okay, why we are taking this difference? Because you see, B will be paying A on the amount of waste that A will reduce. So if B is now paying our variable R, okay, so price to be paid. So if B is now paying for each unit R, then this R will be paid for each unit of reduction. So unlike the other problem, now we have to work with the reduction. So unlike the first case, we don't have R into S here. Here we will have R into the amount of reduction. So here this amount will be R into Sm minus S. This is the amount of reduction. This is the price per unit of reduction. Okay, remember this difference. This difference is not only mathematical, it is basically a structure based on this understanding. So the payment made by A when B owns the river, okay, it is different from the payment made by B when A owns the river. So when B owns the river, A is paying the money for each unit of extra waste that is generated by A. And when A is owning the river, then B is paying for the reduction of each unit of waste. Okay. All right. So now the profit maximization problem, pi max problem of A is, so let's write it. So it will be maximize, it will be similar, right? X1 A. So now it will be P1 X A1. But in this case, A will receive the money. So for reducing this amount, this will be the revenue for A minus CA XA1 comma S. And similarly, if I write for B, so for B, this will be, okay, so let me write it, A and B are. Okay, so for B, this will be maximize XB2 comma S, right? XB2. So like the other, okay. So it will be all the same, just the plus minus sign before R will change. And obviously now it will be R into Sm minus S. So the rest of it remains the same. Okay. Okay. So try to look at these two problems. Here, R is getting the A is getting the amount to reduce, and here B is paying the amount such so that A reduces. Okay. So given these two profit maximization problems, again we are going to write the conditions side by side, and we are going to see, we are going to observe that the result, that is the equilibrium condition that we achieve, they become the same. Okay, so the FOCs. So the FOCs of A. So first one is obviously P equal to MC, right? And the next one is now R equal to minus del CA XA1 del S. So that's our old conditions. And the forces for B, there will be P2, so del CB XB2 comma S del XB2, and R will be equal to del CB XB2 comma S del S. Okay, so we arrived at the same things, and together again we'll be writing the same thing, del CA XA1 comma S del S equal to del CB XB2 comma S del S. Okay. So that's our result, the identical result right here. So that means we have shown that we can arrive at this independent of who owns the river. Okay. So just to finish, as I mentioned, that we have assumed that bargaining is costless is an assumption which generally does not hold true in reality. Now, if the bargain becomes costly, what will happen? So then we'll be making a comparison. So if bargaining is costly, our job is to very simple. So you compare cost of bargain and potential benefit, because until the bargaining is complete, you cannot reap the benefit, right? So potential benefit of bargain. So compare them and you design a mechanism via which this potential benefit, okay, I'll say it again, you design a mechanism via which this potential benefit becomes more than this cost of bargain, and you arrive. So you remove all, so you reach at this through some mechanism, okay, and this mechanism is quite difficult to design. So, and you arrive at Pareto efficient level. Okay. So in the next session, we'll take two other examples. One example will be about consumers externality, something that we have not done, and we'll see how there this our old result of MRS A equal to MRS B, it will not hold. Okay, so there it will be more clear about the externality, and there you'll see that if we are asked to assign some sort of taxation so that this MRS has become equal, how it can be done. Okay, and then we'll look at the approach that we are talking, not in detail. That is our, as it is said, CBA, so cost and benefit analysis. We'll look at that through the diagrams, and we'll see how that also gives us the optimal, the social optimal.